everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today I'm taking you with me to a cozy book fair that was hosted in the beginning of summer 2023. But before we go there, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to Quillscene. My name is Megan. If you like things that have to do with reading, with writing, with fantasy, with magic, with geeky stuff, then you're in the right place. Make sure to click on the magical subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell, because on that way you'll always get a notification whenever I upload something new. But yeah, I think it's time to grab our books and go to our little cozy book fair. So the little book fair I'm talking about is actually one that I've been taking part of for a few years now as an author. I was one of the original authors that joined like the lineup from the very first edition. And I must say, I think 2023 was their third edition. And if you like take the first edition against the edition of 2023, it's like a day and night difference. For the very simple reason that it started very small, like very literally. The very first edition was in this very small room above a cafe, and we were like with about 5 or 6 authors, so really not much. The problem there was that people first of all needed to know that there was a book fair to begin with, and secondly, they had to like find their way to the cafe and then up the stairs and then like in the room. And again, the room was very small. It was like not even the half of like my office space where I'm working now. So yeah, even when people came to visit, it was like very crowded. It was also very hot there. I remember that. So the second edition then was a slightly upgrade, because that was on a proper event location, but sadly we were stuck in an more like a basement room of the event location, because it was a very weird layout. You had like the main entrance, and then when you stepped inside you could go straight forward, or you could like take a turn to the right. And when you went to the right, it had like an entrance to the tavern that was also tavern slash bistro, because you could also eat something there, that was also in the same building and was also of the same owner as the event location. But if you went straight through the hallway, you had like a few steps down, and then you were met with a hallway that had like a lot of doors at the side. And then the main door at the end of the hallway was actually the door that led to the big event room, where stuff like family parties, weddings, stuff like that usually were hosted. Sadly, on the date that the book fair then happened, the big room was already booked for a wedding. So Ghislaine, who organizes this book fair in Heusden Zolder, had to book one of the smaller rooms at the side. If only she didn't know how big those rooms were. So on the day of the event, we arrived, she and the authors arrived, and we quickly discovered that it was a slightly bigger room than the one we had at the cafe, but it wasn't much bigger. So it was kind of like a lot of juggling with tables and stuff like that. Some authors had an entire table for themselves to present their books. Other writers had to share a table among 2 usually. Which wasn't the end of the world, but of course there wasn't a lot of breathing space. And again, for the visitors, it was kind of like weird and a bit harder again to find their way to the room where the books were. Even though we put like our roller banners down the hall, still it was like kind of like a scavenging hunt a bit. So luckily for this third edition in 2023, Ghislaine went above and beyond, and she booked this time an event location that we in Belgium, well, in Dutch we call it a cultureel centrum. So in English that would be a cultural center. Usually every like city / village has one of those. It's usually a bigger room that has an installed bar, usually without like the drinks already present, because usually the one who books the venue has to fill up the fridges and stuff like that. Usually it also has a stage, because it usually is also used as like the main performance ground for the local theater groups, but also for like concerts, small concerts and stuff like that. And of course there are a lot of tables and chairs provided within the room, because sometimes even schools like book it for like their sometimes they host like restaurant days to, you know, to get some money in their funding for new toys or whatever. So that are all kinds of things that you can book that cultural center for. But Ghislaine booked it for the book fair. And it was extra fun because, again, next door to the cultural center, the venue, was again a bistro, also from the same owner as the venue. So for us as authors, it was fun because we could, you know, just step through the door and get something to drink, to eat. For the visitors, it was also fun because they could, you know, come buy books and then go out to eat, or other way around. So yeah, it was very fun. And again, it was hosted in Heusden Zolder, usually is. And this edition was hosted on Sunday, the 18th of June. And what was extra fun was that, again, the number of authors was upped. Now we were, I think, over 20 authors that were present. And what made it extra fun for me was that this time I didn't go alone. Because one of my colleagues and writing friends, Mathias Maho, also went along with us. He doesn't live that far from me, so we kind of like agreed to ride in tandem, as we call it. So my mom and I in one car, and he followed in his car behind us. And yeah, when we arrived, people, because it was from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. And it was communicated that we could arrive as the authors from 9:30 a.m. To help with the setup and stuff like that. So the moment doors opened, we started, you know, with shaping up the room a bit. We took tables, we put them like in a U form, so that when you shape, that was the word I was looking for. The Dutch and English is like clashing in my head again. It's because I'm tired. But anyway, so we put it in like a U shape, so when the people like entered, they were surrounded by books, literally. The funny thing was that all the authors like took their tables and pulled them apart. So you had like a table, small free space, another table. And Matthias and I looked at each other and we were like, meh, we're not going to do that. So we were the only two authors that like put our tables together, because we usually do that also with when we are out and about with het Schrijverscollectief, the Writers Collective, which is the writing group that I started in 2017. And yeah, the funny thing was that we like were like the base shape of the U, so this bit, and then so we were like in the middle, and then we had a few other authors before they had like the parallel things of the U shape. And the funny thing was that when people walked in, they saw us smooshed together and they just walked right to us, which was very funny. Also, we were like, I think one of the few fantasy authors, so we were representing our genre again. So yeah, it was very fun. Again, it's always fun when I have like Matthias as a neighbor. We talked a lot, we laughed a lot. We met new readers. We saw people again that we already knew. We sold some books, we signed some books, as you will probably see in the footage. And yeah, it was again a very fun event. As I said, this third edition of the book fair Heusden Zolder was very fun. It was also a very big upgrade from the previous edition, so we were very, very fan of the venue. So we silently hope that the next edition in 2024 will also be hosted there, though Ghislaine has already like dropped hints that she is planning to rebook that venue. I hope a lot of the authors that we met also jump again on the wagon. Maybe some new authors will join us. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this event will develop. And yeah, I hope it will appear on our agenda for 2024. That was it already for this video. If you liked it, please leave it a little thumbs up and a comment down below. It helps me more than you know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I see you guys soon for another bookish, magical, probably on the go video. Bye!